So a little while ago, I made a video about Batman vs. Doctor Doom in a prep match, meaning a few weeks to prepare beforehand and plan for the battle, then they'd fight. While I was researching and preparing for this video, I was just reminded of how great of a quote-unquote prepper Batman truly is. He really is a master of preparation. Specifically, he's really great when it comes to preparing to face the Justice League, each of individual members. He's routinely come up with plans on how to take down his own team throughout the years. Each time he comes up with some sort of different plan, tactic, piece of tech to beat them. This got me all thinking, how would Batman fare against Marvel's version of the Justice League, the Avengers? Could he possibly find some way to take them all down? Well, today, we're going to find out. Now, first things first, we laid a few ground rules. Batman can have all the prep time he needs, have all the knowledge he can gather about the other team, and have all the resources at his disposal, both the hero Batman and the billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne. He can take them on all at the same time, one at a time, more than super identities or normal street clothes. Doesn't matter, as long as he puts them down. Also, just a note, in this scenario, we're going to pretend that it's more of a composite Marvel DC Earth. So just Batman thrown into the Marvel Universe. Basically, I want Batman to be able to keep the resources of Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises just being tossed into Earth 616, and they start taking down the Avengers from scratch. Nothing but the cape on his back. Just seems like more of a fair fight. Now, onto the Avengers roster about taking on. We'll be taking the core Avengers roster in the movies, just the comics versions of the characters. So, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Scarlet Witch and Vision, thrown in there for good measure. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. And starting out, I first just want to recap Bruce's intelligence, specifically his preparation ability, just to really drive home at the very beginning that Bruce does have the strategic and tactical intelligence to take down a team of this caliber. Batman is very likely the greatest living tactician in DC. It's even said that he's one of the greatest strategic minds in the entire DC multiverse. And when going up against the Justice League, he's able to plan and prepare for just about anything, any possible scenario that was even remotely imaginable. During Tower of Babel, he planned that he would freeze Plastic Man's body, shatter it, then store it in multiple containers. He would hit Aquaman with a fear gas attack to make him afraid of water, thus incapacitating him. Use a nanobot to trick Wonder Woman into thinking she was facing an opponent who was her completely equal match, knowing that Diana would never quit. He planted hypnotic suggestions to make Green Lantern blind himself, thus not letting his constructs fully form. Devised a vibrobullet for Flash. He'd permanently coat Martian Manhunter in fire, and then Superman, of course, will be hit with kryptonite. Then during Forever Evil, he again got kryptonite for Superman, a yellow Sinestro ring for Green Lantern, a lightning rod from the future that could slow down the Flash, a mother box for Cyborg, but it wasn't necessarily clear what he had for Aquaman, and he didn't have anything planned for Wonder Woman. Then, finally, a version of Aquaman from the future stole some of Batman's tech that he had designed to take down the Justice League, which included kryptonite and a red solar flare for Superman, a temporal grenade that would drastically slow Flash down, tech that paralyzed Cyborg, and a device that caused Green Lantern's ring not to work. So yeah, Batman has been able to devise plans to take down the Justice League on multiple occasions. He's definitely got the intelligence and ability to come up with some plans to take down the Avengers. However, the thing is, Batman knows all the Justice League intimately, knows everything about them, knows their strengths, more importantly, their weaknesses. He doesn't know the Avengers going into this fight, but just be able to gather intelligence on them with the gear and resources that he has on hand. So, question is, will Batman be able to dig up? Well, here's the thing about the Avengers. Actually, a lot of the heroes in the Marvel Universe. They really don't have secret identities like the heroes over in DC Universe. Iron Man and Tony Stark is the most iconic one, the most obvious example, but Thor and Vision don't have a secret identity. Bruce Banner is very publicly the Hulk. Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and Clint Barton have all openly worked for the government before, and Wanda Maximoff really isn't trying to hide her identity either. And so, Right out of the gate, that makes things a whole lot easier for Batman, considering he had to find out who's the man behind the mask. From there, Batman will just sit back, watch, observe his new targets. Actually insanely skilled at doing this, seeing as how he's able to know intimate details on some random no-name thugs who just arrived at Gotham a short time ago. Surely, we'll learn intimate details about 8 of the most prominent figures in the world, all with known identities. And there are 2 things that will help Bruce out here. First off, his hacking abilities. He's hacked into LexCorp and defense systems in countries all around the world. He's hacked into Apocalypton and Kryptonian tech. And he's even hacked into an alien computer in seconds despite not even knowing the language. So I'm sure we'll hack into Stark Industries and S.H.I.E.L.D. computers to gain information on the Avengers there. Especially since Batman has all the time that he wants for this fight. Secondly, I could totally see Batman building another Brother Eye-like device. Yeah, the first one went rogue and wants to destroy Batman now, but let's just look beyond that for a second here. Brother Eye was able to detect all metahuman activity on the planet, from orbit. It's able to determine a person's race, gender, genetics, and blood type, has X-ray vision, and is even able to see inside buildings in full video. Through Bruce's skill at researching opponents, plus the resources and abilities at his fingertips, I'm positive able to intimately get understanding on the Avengers, just like he's got an intimate understanding of the Justice League, knowing the team's strengths, knowing their weaknesses, and knowing how to take them down. But from there, well, Batman has to actually build devices and gear to put the Avengers down, especially big guns like Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, and Vision. So what can Batman do in that regard? Well, first off, Bruce Wayne is easily one of the wealthiest men, not just in the DC universe, but really in all of fiction. Like we talked about in the Batman vs. Dr. Doom video, Wayne Enterprises is an absolutely massive corporation, one that's got their hands in pretty much every little area across the business world, the kind of business that's larger and more powerful than most countries. In fact, when LexCorp and Wayne Tech, just one subsidiary of Wayne Enterprises, merged, they were going to be bringing in 95% of the US's GDP. So yeah, Wayne Enterprises as a whole is definitely more powerful than the majority of countries, bringing in more money than you or I could possibly ever imagine. Basically, Batman pretty much has an infinite amount of gear and resources at his disposal. We're just got bases built up all over the world, not just the Batcave in Gotham City. He's even got a Batcave inside the moon and a remote Justice League base on Pluto. Within the Batcave, at the Batcomputer, he has access to Interpol, every law enforcement, every military, and every cover ops database in existence. And again, he'll have been able to hack into pretty much every applicable resource on Marvel's Earth too. He can also use Internet 3.0 to accurately run simulations and predict events in the future, letting him workshop possible scenarios in order to find the right course of action. He's got pretty much every kind of lab imaginable, including a chem lab, robotics, forensics, crime, workshop, all sorts of things. He's also a specialist at designing high-powered suits of armor, like the Insider suit, which can tap into the Speed Force, the Justice League Buster, which, surprise, surprise, was designed to bust the Justice League, and the Hellbat suit, which is capable of taking on a Darkseid. He's even got the final Batsuit, which is massive, and was again able to battle against the whole Justice League. Plus, Batman currently has a dagger that contains a fraction of the Wizard Shazam's power, as well as a Helm of Fate, an energy gun that knocked out Bizarro, even a Mother Box, and an EMP blast that took out 700,000 OMAX. That's just scratching the surface of everything that Batman is able to do and create. But it is a nice summary of what Bruce is packing as he approaches taking down the Avengers. So enough stalling, let's get to the good stuff. How exactly will Batman take down the Avengers? Now, some of them are just too easy. Batman can beat up Hawkeye in a straight-up fight 9 times, 10 times out of 10. He's the Batman, he's just too good. He's easily caught an arrow fired from Green Arrow behind his back without even looking. He turned around and split another arrow fired from Ollie clean in half, and punched apart arrows fired from Queen at a real close range. Green Arrow is just as accurate as Hawkeye, if not better. Batman has also beat down Green Arrow and even one-shot Green Arrow. And Green Arrow is, again, just as skilled of a fighter as Hawkeye. And if you want to argue that Hawkeye is more skilled than Green Arrow, Batman is also easily beating people more skilled than Green Arrow. So let's not even go down that road. Batman can easily crush Hawkeye. He's not someone Bruce needs to be worried about. Again, some of them are just too easy. Just like Hawkeye, Batman's gonna beat Black Widow a whole lot more times than not. He's routinely easily beaten Catwoman. He sparred evenly against and even quickly defeated Lady Shiva, taking down Black Canary with a kick, and so on and so forth. Batman can beat Black Widow in a straight-up fight, and he's definitely going to beat her if he's got inside knowledge, has the time to repair and come up with a strategy beforehand. No additional gear required. Next, now things begin to get slightly more difficult. Batman vs. Captain America is about as close of a fight as you can get, with Steve being physically superior, while Bruce is the more skilled fighter. Batman has a wide arsenal of gear and weapons. Captain America is a shield, the perfect offensive and defensive weapon. So, first things first, separate Cap from his shield. More specifically, target him when he isn't even remotely near his shield. Batman should be able to definitely outfight Steve. Take Captain America out from there. Seeing how he's regularly gone up against and beaten Deathstroke, DC's premier super soldier, essentially Cap's equal. But let's just seal the deal. Batman attacks Steve away from the shield in suits of armor. That was specifically designed to beat Captain America, just a normal armored suit that Batman has already created. Like, no way could Steve Rogers defeat the Hellbat or the Insider suit. Basically, separate Cap from his shield and then attack. Possibly attack in a suit of armor in order to ensure there's no chance of losing. Or if you want to go the chemical, biological route, Batman is able to get a hold of even a small sample of Cap's DNA and reverse engineer it to create reverse vital rays and depower Steve. He's a master chemist that he spent a lifetime coming up with antidotes to various things. So if anyone can do it, probably actually would be Batman. Either way, Batman comes out on top here. And here's where things get significantly more difficult. Big step up from Captain America all the way to Vision. But it is someone that Batman has to go up against and take down. So how can he? Well, first off, what are Vision's weaknesses? Well, being an android, he's susceptible to EMP blast or being hacked. He can still be injured just as normally as others by magic, and his density can also be used against him. Those are all weaknesses that Batman can exploit here in this fight, especially considering he's routinely figuring out how to take down Cyborg. He's hacked into and completely paralyzed Cyborg, can unleash electromagnetic nerve tree scrambler, or unleash the same EMP blast that disabled 780,000 OMAX. Batman can also figure out a way to use Vision's density control against him, seeing as this isn't particularly new to him. He's countering density control and tangibility all throughout his costumed career. It'd be tough, but I think Batman can take down Vision, doesn't able to take down Cyborg. He's just too experienced going up against and taking down other robots and androids. Iron Man is going to be another insanely tough one for Batman to take down, simply because Tony is similar to Bruce in this regard, having prepared for most all possible scenarios or attempts to take him down. Namely, he's highly resistant to EMP blast or hacking attempts. Iron Man can be taken out by EMP blast. He's not completely immune to them, but they have to be absolutely massive, just completely over the top. He's even said that all of his core suits are shielded against sun flare level EMP attacks, something that Batman will have a real difficult time replicating. Iron Man's suits are also highly resistant to hacking, but just like EMPs, he's not completely immune to them, considering that his suits have been consistently hacked and turned against him in the past. So it's definitely a solid possibility that Batman could take out Iron Man through one of those two methods. But it's definitely the hardest course of action that he's got at his disposal. Batman can also just try and beat Iron Man in a straight up fight, using the Hellbat armor or an armor that he specifically created to beat Tony. But again, it's going to be insanely hard for Batman to do so. I mean, he's essentially trying to beat Iron Man at his own game, and Iron Man is the MVP. Instead, Bruce is smart. He'll try and take out Tony Stark instead of trying to take out Iron Man. I mean, Tony Stark isn't the most stable or steady person. He's really susceptible to highs and lows. I mean, just look at the Demon in the Bottle storyline. So Bruce Wayne goes after Tony Stark and goes after Stark Industries. Well, that could actually be more effective than going after Iron Man. Actually, some precedent for this. So go back around to the Tower of Babel storyline. Green Arrow was a JLO reserve member at the time, so Batman's strategy to take him down was to target him with any number of negative or even positive changes in his personal life and fortune, knowing that this will distract him because Oliver Queen is every bit the playboy that Bruce himself pretends to be. And again, Batman is incredibly skilled at doing this, considering that he's done it before. He's used corporate takeover tactics in order to defeat Lex Luthor. He even says he just understands business and plays the game much better than Lex Luthor. We don't have time to repair and strategize beforehand. I'm sure Bruce could do the same with Tony, especially since Tony's already prone to spiraling, falling in dark places. Now with Wanda, at first glance, it seems like you go after her mental state. I mean, she is notoriously unstable. Batman could just drive her to the breaking point. Only thing is, if Batman did do this, well, she could possibly manipulate and destroy all of reality. At the very least, she could lash out and destroy Batman. Scarlet Witch just gets more and more powerful and unpredictable the more and more unstable she gets. So trying to mentally manipulate her or break her obviously isn't the smartest strategy. However, Wanda is just a human, meaning she's just as durable as a human. So Batman could take her off a sneak attack, considering that she's not omniscient, won't see him coming, and is going to have to vanish from Superman and Martian Manhunter's sight or telepathy. He can also use knockout darts or knockout gas that's instantly taken out both Killer Croc and Clayface. It'd be insanely tough. Definitely one of the harder Avengers to put down just because she's such a powerful wild card. And Batman would have to be at the top of his game, but I think he could do it. Then we come to the real big guns, Hulk and Thor. If Batman thought any of these previous heroes were hard to put down, man, you haven't seen nothing yet. Hulk is arguably the strongest and the most durable Avenger, and he's got an absolutely incredible healing factor to boot. There's honestly no feasible way that Batman is going to beat the Hulk. No way. And I know, he's technically beaten the Hulk in a crossover, but nothing about that fight made sense. I mean, the idea that a kick from Batman would stagger and injure the Hulk, not just break Batman's leg, man, that's on par with Batman kicking the Spectre in the face and injuring him. So all this means that Batman wants to beat Hulk. He's not going to beat the Hulk. He's going to beat Bruce Banner, just like with Iron Man and Tony Stark. However, this is a whole lot easier said than done. Bruce can pretty much instantly turn to the Hulk whenever in a life-threatening situation, almost like a subconscious self-defense tactic. It's just like what he said on Avengers. I put a bullet in my mouth and the guy spit it out. So knockout gas or a dart could possibly put him down like it did with Wanda, but that's a real risky proposition. Seeing as even 1/10, 1/100th second delay, you could end up facing the Hulk. Realistically, the best way for Batman to defeat the Hulk is the same way the Illuminati managed to defeat the Hulk, by launching him out into outer space. And seeing as Batman has consistently managed to restrain and trap powerful foes, even trapping and restraining Superman, I'm sure that Bruce could find some way to restrain the Hulk, at least for the time it takes to launch him out into space. That really does seem to be the best strategy here. However, here's the hardest one of all. Thor. The guy is a legitimate god, and has no notable weaknesses that Batman can exploit. Even with the Hulk, you can go after his alter ego Bruce Banner. But with Thor, well, you have to face Thor. No way around it. So can Batman pull it off? Well, the most obvious answer would be to use a tooth from the Midgard serpent. saying how its venom is poisonous and can take out Asgardian gods. And then while it will be insanely difficult for Batman to get one, if Dr. Octopus was able to get one and give it to Rhino, then I'm sure Batman can acquire one too. And seeing as how Rhino is able to impale Thor with a tooth as its horn, I'm sure that Batman in the Hellbat suit could do it as well, seeing as both stronger and faster than Rhino. Then he can always go the route of Wonder Woman and Tower of Babel. Like Thor, Diana doesn't have any noticeable or exploitable weaknesses. Nothing like Superman's kryptonite or fire of Martian Manhunter. However, Batman was able to use her personality and fighting spirit against her. He knew that Diana wouldn't accept failure or lose a fight. So his plan was to use virtual reality and a nanite implant in order to make her believe that she was facing off against an exact duplicate of herself, someone who is her perfect equal in strength, speed, and skill, with the ultimate plan being to have Wonder Woman fake fight until her heart gave out. Batman uses the same strategy here against Thor, seeing as a whole lot like Wonder Woman, Thor isn't going to give up on a fight. Batman also might be able to manipulate the simulation in some way where Thor actually believes that he's unworthy to wield Mjolnir, losing his greatest asset in a fight and making him much easier to beat, especially with the Hellbat and the Serpent's Tooth. So, end of the day, can Batman beat the Avengers? Well, technically, yes. But I honestly think it would just be like 1 time out of 10. Because there are a few things that we didn't really talk about. First off, while we have mentioned it, Marvel heroes really don't have exploitable weaknesses like DC heroes, making it a whole lot harder for Bruce to get the job done. Secondly, Batman's contingency plans against the Justice League really never work. The League of Assassins took Batman's plans and modified them to make them lethal during Tower of Babel, and he did defeat them in the Justice League Buster, but they were brainwashed and mind-controlled. It's really a half victory at best. Then lastly, this whole video is predicated on ignoring the fact that the Avengers actually talk to each other. They see the Hulk launch into space or Iron Man lose all his fortune. They're obviously gonna get suspicious. And yeah, you could argue that Batman could just unleash all 8 plans all at once. But that's a whole lot for Batman to juggle, even if he is Batman. So yeah, Batman could beat the Avengers 1 time out of 10. Probably even more like 1-2 times out of 100. But hey, that still counts. Batman can use prep to beat the Avengers. It's just more times than not, I'm still going to take the Avengers in a fight. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure, hit the like button, subscribe button, turn on notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see y'all next time.